Want something bad enough and you're willing to give up other things, like, you know, in my business you have to give up a lot to get what you want, and if you want to do it badly enough, it's like I wouldn't take no. I mean, if I gave anyone any advice, but especially women, just don't, you know, don't believe no. I just don't believe no. When someone tells me no, I just don't believe it.
A legendary musician, a timeless icon, Cher has secured her legacy amongst the stars. Starting out as a young girl with crippling stage fright, evolving into one of the most recognized figures in Hollywood. With countless awards and achievements, she has established 6 decades of stardom, with an increase in popularity throughout.
There are only a handful of famous celebrities who go by one name, whereas one word is enough to kind of express their iconic status. Cher is one of those individuals. She only needs 4 small letters in her name and everyone knows exactly who you are talking about.
Cher is the ageless wonder that has conquered pretty much every media screen, TV, the Billboard charts, gone on to have one of the highest grossing concert tours of all time. And the most noted thing about Cher is she transcends and defies age.
Cher is much more than a pop star. Consistently topping the charts, she is the one-woman embodiment of fame itself, conquering every corner of the industry. No matter what is said about her or the challenges she has faced, she remains on top, refusing to fade away.
Now it goes into, this is the beginning.
Right.
Sherilyn Sarkeesian was born on May 20th, 1946, to parents John Sarkeesian and Georgia Holt. Her mother, Georgia, born Jackie Jean Crouch, was a model and part-time actress.
Cher was born to a mom who was a teenager and really unprepared for having a baby. In fact, Cher's mom is very much considered an abortion. Cher's mom was going to have an abortion and even went as far as seeing the doctor and booked the abortion. And when she got in there, she changed her mind and decided to have the baby. But Cher knew from actually a very early age that her mom had nearly aborted her. And I think that had a real impact perhaps on her feeling of whether or not she was wanted and her place in the world.
Her father was an Armenian-American truck driver, known to have drug and gambling problems.
Cher's father, John Sarkeesian, was gone, really absent from her life from about 5 months old. He had major addiction problems. He was a truck driver. He was always on the road, and he was not a figure in her life at all.
While she was still a baby, her father took their family to Pittsburgh and then abandoned her mother, leaving her alone and a single parent. This led to her parents' divorce in 1947.
Cher's mom was really ill-equipped for motherhood, and Cher's father was completely ill-equipped. Cher's parents were both very young. Her mom was only 18 when she was born, and their marriage broke up very soon after Cher was born. I think she was about 5 months old when her dad left. Cher's father was an alcoholic and drug addict who had terrible addiction issues, as well as being a truck driver, which meant that he was often away and on the road. Cher's mom had aspirations of being an actress. She wanted nothing more than to be famous in Hollywood, and she was working as a waitress in order to pursue her acting dreams. So Cher's mom was, very young, not ready to have a baby. Her husband was an addict who left, and she found herself really struggling to raise baby Cher.
Georgia managed to get a job in a diner, working nights to make ends meet. Cher ended up in a Catholic orphanage since her mother had no time for a baby whilst trying to earn enough to support them.
Cher's mom actually put her in an orphanage where she took her to a Catholic orphanage and said, "Could you please take care of my baby? I am working nights, I'm working all kinds of shifts in order to support us and try and get a good job, and I can't look after her." The nuns took Cher in, and originally it was going to be just for a few days. And it ended up being about 2 weeks before Cher's mom, Georgia, came back together. And at that point, the nuns said, we think Cher's better off here at the orphanage, and really didn't allow Cher's mom to take her. And that led to kind of a struggle that went on for many months, where Cher's mom struggled to get custody back of her daughter. Cher has said in later interviews that this time in her life had lifelong ramifications for her. She said that even as an adult, she would wake up sometimes and not know where she was, and not know that she was safe, and feel not secure in where she was. And I think a lot of that stemmed back to Cher's experience of being actually given to an orphanage at a young age with complete strangers before her mom was able to eventually reclaim her.